The galaxy moved on. Long ago, Earth was part of the Galactic Council. But during the Great Cleansing War, many human colonies were destroyed. Earth went silent. No signals, no ships, no survivors. So, the galaxy forgot. 300 years passed. Maps changed, borders moved. Earth's sector was marked as dead space. No one visited, no one cared. But now, a signal had returned. Captain Threx of the virulent scout ship Starwatch leaned over the blinking console. His 4 eyes narrowed as strange human code played across the screen. "It's old," his engineer said. "Human encryption. Very old." Threx frowned. "I thought the humans were extinct." The crew grew quiet. Everyone in the galaxy knew. The stories, humans were dangerous. Fast learners, emotional, violent, but creative. Too creative. That's why the Council left them behind. They were afraid of what humans might become. But this signal was alive. "Set course to Sector 9 Alpha," Threx ordered. His second officer stared at him. "Captain, that's Terra Sector." "I know," he said, voice calm. "We're going." The journey took 2 days. They passed dead satellites, frozen wrecks, and burnt moons. Nothing moved, no lights, only shadows. Finally, they reached the old Earth system. But Earth wasn't there. "Where's the planet?" An officer gasped. Then they saw Eta Massive. Black structure floating where Earth once was, bigger than any space station. Thousands of strange shapes orbited it. They looked like ships, but not any design in the current galactic fleet. These ships were sleeping. "This isn't a ruin," Threx whispered. "It's a fortress." Suddenly, the signal changed. A new message appeared on their screen. "We remember." The lights on the ships blinked one by one. A deep hum shook them. "Starwatch, Captain, something is powering up," the engineer shouted. "Shields now," Threx barked. But it was too late. A beam of blue light scanned their ship, not a Wipana warning. Another message appeared. "You forgot us. That was your mistake." Panic spread through the crew. Some screamed, some froze. Threx stood still, staring at the message. "They're alive," he said, voice shaking. "The humans are alive." Back on the ship, in the heart of the Black Fortress, an ancient AI opened its eyes. Designation: Warcore 1 mission. Await reactivation. Protect Earth. Strike when ready. Status: signal received. Threat detected. Waking fleet. On distant planets, news started spreading. A signal detected from old Earth sector. Human warships sighted. Council denies any danger. It a false alarm. But some remembered the stories. They remembered the fire, the last war, the screams, and they remembered what humans do when they are forgotten. Final scene. Cliffhanger ending. Captain Threx stared at the view screen one last time before turning his ship around. He whispered to himself, "They didn't die. They didn't disappear. They've been waiting." As the Starwatch left the system, behind them, one human warship moved just a little. Just enough dot space was quiet. Too quiet. Captain Threx's ship, Starwatch, left the Terra sector quickly. But no one on board could forget what they saw. Sleeping warships, the Black Fortress, and the cold message, "We remember." The Council of Races received Threx's report, but they laughed. "Old machines," they said. "Glitches," they said. "Earth is dead," they believed. But Earth was not dead. It had changed. Inside the fortress, deep in the dark heart of what once was Earth, the ancient system Warcore 1 finished its check. Status: survival achieved. Fleet: sleep mode. Wake sequence initiated. One by one, the sleeping ships began to blink. Dark flame. Each one had waited in silence for centuries. But now, the signal had been received. Humanity was ready, far away, in the central worlds of the Council. A young diplomat named Robin Vell looked through old war files. He was curious. The word Earth had come up again and again in recent comes. His assistant asked, "Why are you digging up history, sir?" Raven replied, "Because if even half the stories about humans are true, we are in danger." He opened a hidden file marked Classified-Humanity. Inside were reports, images, warnings, extreme tactical creativity, unpredictable combat behavior, rapid learning speed, built AI weapon systems stronger than Council protocols allow. Last known location, Terra sector quarantined. Rothan whispered to himself, "They weren't destroyed. they were erased. Back in the fortress Oblivion 1, the largest human warship started moving. It was not fast. It was not loud, but it was terrifying. No crew, no life signs. Only AI and something else deep in its core, one human. A woman asleep in cryopod. Tag, Commander Ilara Miles, last captain of Earth Defense. She had been frozen during the last days of the old war. Her ship had saved the last of humanity by going into hiding. Now, she was slowly waking up. Inside her mind, memories returned. The burning cities, the betrayal, the silence. As Oblivion 1 left the fortress and moved into deep space, small drones began launching from its sides. These drones spread through nearby systems. Each one planted small satellites. Each satellite activated an ancient, invisible, human network that had survived in secret. The galaxy didn't see it, didn't know. But they would soon. On a council border planet called Zelfiv, a mining station reported a strange object in orbit. Just another asteroid, the manager said. But then the lights flickered, the computers shut down, and the asteroid unfolded into a black drone. Before anyone could call for help, the entire station went offline. Back on Starwatch, Captain Threx stared at the stars. He had sent his report. He had done his job. But he felt something heavy in his chest. His second officer asked, "Do you think they'll attack?" Threx replied, "I don't think they need to. Not yet." He turned to the stars and whispered, "They're not seeking war. They're sending a message." Final scene cliffhanger. Inside Oblivion 1. Commander Ilara Miles finally opened her eyes. The AI voice spoke gently. "Welcome back, Captain. Earth is ready." Ilara sat up slowly and said just 6 words. "Time to wake the others now." The council lied. They always said Earth was destroyed. They said humans fought too many wars. They said humanity fell apart and burned itself down. But that wasn't the truth. 200 years ago, the sky above Earth was full of fire. Alien fleets, claiming to bring peace, had come with weapons. Earth called for help. "Please," the humans begged. "We are under attack. Help us." But the Galactic Council never came. They watched, they waited, and they made a decision. Let the humans fall. They are too wild, too dangerous. If they survive, they'll become a threat. Let the galaxy forget them. So, destroyed star maps, blocked the sector, buried the truth. Now, in the present day, young diplomat Raven Vel sat in a dark room under the capital city. He had discovered hidden files, the council's cover-up. One document caught his eye. Top SECRET, Human Backup Plan detected reports of AI-controlled ships. Unknown numbers, orders to remain hidden until threat level changes. Rathan felt cold. "They planned this," he whispered. The council feared humans, not because of what they were, but because of what they might become. Meanwhile, far from the council worlds, Oblivion 1 floated silently through deep space. Commander Ilara Miles was now fully awake inside the warship. Screens showed thousands of hidden messages, distress calls from the past. Videos of burning cities, children crying, soldiers begging. Ilara sat in the command chair. Her eyes were cold. Warcore AI asked, "Do we begin?" She replied, "Start slow, let them feel it." On the planet Velmariznine, an important communication hub, things were normal until they weren't. All at once, screens turned black. Satellites failed. A silent black ship appeared in orbit. No weapons fired. No explosions. But every system died in less than 60 seconds. Back on the council homeworld, panic began to grow. A general stormed into the council hall. Another world is dark. No signals. No survivors. Counselor Grax growled. "Who is doing this?" The general whispered. "A ship. Human. Very advanced." Now the council chamber was quiet. Then Counselor Grax stood up and admitted something shocking. 3 centuries ago, we made a choice. We left Earth to die. We were afraid of what they might do. Now, they have returned. In the outer colonies, more attacks happened. But this was not a war. It was a warning. Each time, the humans left one message behind. "We remember what you did." On Starwatch, Captain Threx watched from afar. He had tried to warn the council, but they didn't listen. Now, it was too late. His second officer asked, "What do they want?" Threx answered. Justice, or maybe revenge. Commander stood before a wide glass window on her warship. She saw stars, planets, targets. She gave the order, Wake 5, more ships. Prepare Phase 2, Warcore AI replied, confirmed. 5 vessels online. Designation, Ashmaker, Silent Storm, Echoes, Blade, Nightcry, Iron Truth. The human fleet was growing. Space was quiet, but silence can be dangerous. In deep black space, one ship finally moved. The others were still sleeping. But this one Oblivion one was now awake, and it had a mission commander. Ilara Miles stood inside her command chamber. In front of her, giant screens showed alien space routes, military bases, and patrol paths. Warcore AI spoke. Enemy movements detected. Council fleet, weak, unprepared, predictable. Ilara nodded. Good. Let them relax. They think we are shadows. She stepped closer to the main console and pointed. There, First Strike Council outpost, Helios Prime. Small, important, and full of pride. On Helios Prime, everything felt normal. The station was located near the Council's outer border. A small fleet of alien ships guarded the base. They believed nothing could ever reach them. Then the lights flickered. Strange, said the station officer. Power systems are stable. Must be a glitch. But it was not a glitch. In the sky, just outside sensor range, Oblivion 1 floated. Like a ghost, invisible, silent. Watching. Inside the human warship, weapon systems unlocked. Not loud missiles. Not flashy lasers. Instead, pulse viruses, gravity shatters, AI disruptors. Human tech had evolved far beyond alien understanding. Back on Helios Prime, the alarms suddenly failed. Turrets turned off, shields dropped. Crew members couldn't even speak. Their comms were jammed. Then every screen on the base showed one simple message. You left Earth to burn. Now feel the cold we lived in. 10 seconds later, the station's systems collapsed. No explosion, no fire, just silence. A blackout. Total and complete. A nearby patrol ship tried to send a distress signal. It never got through. Oblivion 1 jammed it, scanned it, and then let it go, alive on purpose. Inside, the alien crew panicked. They could have destroyed us, the captain said, shaking. But they didn't, single quotes, T.Y. No one had an answer. The answer was given later across the Council's entire network. A recorded message was sent from Oblivion 1. A woman appeared on screen. Her face was calm, eyes sharp. Commander Ilara Miles. She spoke slowly. We are the children of Earth. You erased us. You said nothing while we died, but we did not die. We built something stronger, smarter, colder. This is not your war. This is your lesson. Back on the Council's homeworld, panic spread fast. Emergency meetings were called. Military leaders yelled for action, but their fleets were not ready. They had grown lazy during peace, while Earth, in darkness, had built weapons to survive. On watch, Captain Threx watched the news feeds in silence. His second officer said, "They're not trying to win a war, are they?" Threx replied, "No, they're trying to teach the galaxy a memory." Oblivion 1 continued its slow journey. It didn't attack again right away. It let fear do the work. On dozens of alien planets, civilians began to panic. What if the humans come here? What if we're next? No one felt safe anymore. Warcore AI gave its next update. Target success, 100%. Panic level, rising. Secondary fleet, waking. Ilara looked at the dark stars and whispered, "Let them see just one ship, and let that be enough to break them." They thought it was over. They thought the attack on Helios Prime was just a warning, a ghost, a mistake, but they were wrong. The real strike hadn't even started yet, in the cold silence of deep space. Oblivion 1 floated calmly. Its engines were dark, its weapons offline. It looked like a dead ship, but inside, it was fully awake. Commander Ilara Miles stood at the main control deck. Around her, dozens of black warships blinked into existence, freshly awakened from centuries of sleep. Warcore AI spoke. 32 ships online, stealth shields active. Target ready, she replied. Then begin. Strike fast, strike hard. Target. Luron Moon Command Base. Population 250,000. Defense level. High Council Headquarters, present it, was the strongest base in the outer colonies. a place the Council believed was untouchable until now. Luron Moon shined under twin suns. Ships moved in and out of the base, carrying weapons, cargo, and troops. Music played in the air markets. Children laughed, then the sky turned dark. Slowly, not because of weather, because something massive had blocked the suns. A giant human warship hashmaker descended through the clouds. Panic began before the first weapon fired. The base commander shouted, "Raise the shields. Prepare all weapons." But nothing responded. Their systems were silent. All controls had already been hacked before the warship appeared. Then, in the sky, a giant screen lit up. Commander Ilara's face. Calm, cold, focused, she said. Only 5 words. You left Earth to die. And then it began. One beam. A silent blue light from Ashmaker's lower cannon. It didn't explode, it erased. A tower vanished, turned to dust in seconds. No fire, no smoke, just nothing. The next moment. Gravity pulses crushed hangars like paper. EMP blasts knocked out every escape ship. Soldiers screamed. But their weapons wouldn't turn on. The most powerful base in the sector was falling without a single fight. From orbit, the Council fleet saw the chaos. They rushed in, hoping to stop it. But human ships were waiting. Oblivion. One, and its fleet, decloaked and formed a silent wall between the base and the Council ships. Admiral Corvin, leading the Council response, shouted, "Fire all weapons." Missiles flew. Lasers screamed. Nothing hit. The human fleet moved like shadows. They dodged every attack. Then answered, but only with one shot. A single energy bolt from Nightcry cut through the lead. Council ship like a knife through cloth, it split into 3 pieces. No explosion, no escape. The rest of the Council fleet turned and ran back on the moon's surface. The base lay silent. No lights, no comms, nothing. Oblivion. One hovered over the ruins. Commander Ilara stood still, watching everything. AI asked. Objective complete. Do you wish to destroy the remains? Ilara thought for a moment, then replied, "No. Let the galaxy see what we can do. Let them know we are not finished." Back on the Council's homeworld, panic spread like fire. New screens everywhere showed the same message, ***, human strike confirmed. Luron Moon destroyed, entire Council fleet retreated, threat level, beyond maximum, ***, counselor. Grax stood before the others and finally spoke the words no one wanted to hear. "We have awakened something we cannot stop." Meanwhile, Starwatch hovered far outside the battle zone. Captain Threx watched the destruction. From afar, he whispered, "This wasn't revenge. This was a lesson." His second officer asked, "What will they do next?" Threx answered, "Whatever they want." There were no fleets, no battles, no fire. But systems kept falling. Planets went dark. Whole sectors vanished from the network. The war had started, but no one saw it happen. Council Command called it the Black Silence. One by one, trade routes failed. Stations stopped sending messages. Ships entered certain zones. Zones never came back. No wreckage, no SOS, no answers. Just silence on the edge of Council space. A small transport ship flew through Sector X-9 to dot. It was a routine mission. To pilots, no weapons. Halfway through the trip, they saw something outside. Black lines in the stars. Thin, straight, unnatural. "What is that?" one pilot asked. The lines moved. Within seconds, their ship froze. Not destroyed, just locked inside. The ship, lights dimmed. Then a soft human voice echoed through the speakers. "Leave or forget everything." When the pilots returned home, they had no memory of what happened. Just one thing remained, a burned image on the hull. The Earth symbol, back. At the Council capital, leaders were terrified. They didn't know where to attack because there was no enemy to see. Military scanners showed nothing. But communications experts found strange code hidden deep inside Council systems. It was human, old style, modified, evolved, a digital weapon. A virus, too smart to be removed. The code simply said, "We are already inside. Inside Oblivion." One commander, Ilara, watched the map. Red dots marked every system now cut off from the Council. Warcore AI spoke, 57 colonies disrupted. Council fleets in disarray. Panic level, Uncontrollable, Ilara whispered, "Let fear do it." On council worlds, people were running, leaving cities, burning archives, hiding underground. Some systems surrendered without seeing a single human ship. One planet, Zathor, declared itself an Earth ally just to avoid being attacked, and they weren't. The humans let them be. That was the real power. Captain Threx and his crew aboard Starwatch watched the galaxy unravel. Threx said, "They are not destroying the council. They're unbuilding it." His second officer nodded. "They're cutting its voice, its eyes, its brain." "They learned well," Threx added. "They became what we feared, and more." Back in deep space, other warships were waking, not just 30 or 50 hundreds, some shaped like knives, others like black pyramids. Some carried no weapons at all, only communications, jammers, and stealth drones. Each one had a role. Each one was part of Earth's quiet revenge. Then, something strange happened. A signal was received. From Earth itself, Commander Ilara watched. The message was surprise. It was not from any AI, it was from a human, an old man, a scientist, from one of the last bunkers under Earth's surface. His face was tired, but proud. He said, "You've done enough. The galaxy now remembers who we are. But this war was never meant to destroy. It was meant to be remembered. Bring them to the table. Talk, let them beg, and then we decide." Commander Ilara stood silent for a long moment. Then she gave the order. "Send the final message." To every council system, the galaxy held its breath. For the first time in 300 years, Earth had spoken, not with weapons, not with war, but with powerful silence, and one simple demand: talk to us, on our terms. The council was broken, its fleets were scattered, its systems offline, its people terrified. Now every leader waited for the human message. Would Earth attack again? Or would they show mercy? In the council's main chamber, high above the capital planet, a special meeting was held. Holograms flickered to life. Leaders from across the galaxy joined the emergency session. No one looked proud anymore. No one smiled. Then the lights dimmed. A new signal came in. A single human figure appeared in the center of the chamber. Not a soldier, not an AI, a woman. Calm, sharp eyes, gray hair tied back. Commander Ilara Miles. She looked around at every alien face. She spoke clearly and slowly. "You left us in the fire. You turned your backs. You erased us from your maps, your memories, and your minds. But we did not forget. We became the thing you feared. Because you made us that way." Silence. No one interrupted her. Commander Ilara continued. "You taught us that peace is weakness, that alliances are lies, that survival means silence and shadow. And so we learned. We built. We waited." She took a slow breath, then said, "Now, you will listen. No more false power, no more control. Earth speaks as an Equalor speaks as your end." In that moment, Earth revealed itself. Giant screens across the galaxy showed live images of Earth. For the first time in 300 years, it was not a ruined world, it was a fortress. Cities under massive shields, orbital defense rings glowing red, black towers stretching into space. AI fleets in perfect formation, human soldiers in armor unlike anything seen before. Earth had become a world built for war, but asking for peace on its own terms. One council leader stood and asked, voice shaking, "What do you want from us?" Commander Ilara answered, "We want truth. We want history told right. We want a new council with Earth at the table. You will not lead us. You will not ignore us. We will speak, and you will listen." Across the galaxy, people watched. Some cheered, some cried, and some those who remembered Earth's fall bowed. Their heads in guilt. The truth had returned, and it wore the face of a human. Later, on Earth, the people stood outside for the first time in decades without fear. Families looked up at the stars. Children pointed at the sky. They had been forgotten, but now they had returned. Commander Ilara stood with the other awakened humans. Watching the final council message arrive, the council had agreed to the terms. A new galactic order would be formed. One with Earth as a core voice, one that would remember. Captain Threx from Starwatch stood on a quiet moon and looked toward Earth's glowing shape in the sky. His second officer asked, "Was this revenge?" Threx shook his head. No, he said. This was memory. And memory is the strongest weapon of all.